Hello students, here is Dr. Narendra Singh, Associate Professor in Physics, Department of Basic Sciences, Oriental College of Technology, Bhopal. In today's lecture, we will discuss the quantum mechanics, what is the quantum mechanics and the de Broglie hypothesis. The contents of today's lectures are introduction of quantum mechanics, then de Broglie hypothesis and matter waves, and lastly we will discuss the properties of the matter waves. So the first one is what is this quantum mechanics and why we will use this quantum mechanics, and here we can use this quantum mechanics. So basically this quantum mechanics is the branch of the physics which deals with the mathematical descriptions of the motion and the interaction of the subatomic particles, which results to understand the concept of the quantization of energy, wave particle duality, and the uncertainty principles, etc. So with the help of this quantum mechanics we can deal the other phenomena of your subatomic particles. Also the theories which cannot explain by using this classical physics, such as your black body radiations, Planck's law, photoelectric effect, as well as your Compton effects. These phenomena are explained with the help of this quantum mechanics. So we can conclude here from with the help of this quantum mechanics we can explain the quantization of certain physical properties of the particles, that is your quantum particles, the quantum engagement, then the uncertainty principle, and the wave particle duality. So first of all we will deal here what is this de Broglie hypothesis. So in 1924 de Broglie proposed that the matter also possesses the dual character like that of your light or the energy. Basically he concludes that the matter possesses dual character, that is your wave character as well as your the particle character. So his concept of dual nature of the matter is based upon the following facts. The first one is the matter and the light both are the form of the energy, and we can convert the matter into light as well as the light into matter, that is we can convert the matter into energy as well as the energy into back is your matter by using this Einstein law. The second fact of your dual nature of these matters are both matter as well as the light are governed the space-time symmetries of the theory of relativity. So in the above two facts the de Broglie conclude and gave a very important hypothesis which is known as your de Broglie hypothesis. He said that the moving particle is surrounded by a wave whose wavelength depends upon the mass as well as the velocity of the particle, and these waves are known as that is your matter wave or the de Broglie wave. So de Broglie's waves are nothing but these are the waves which are surrounded by your moving particle. The particle may be classical particle or the particle may be quantum particle. So how we can prove this de Broglie hypothesis? So we know that light consists of your small particles which are known as your photons or the quanta, and according to Planck's law the energy of your each quanta or the particle is that is your E is equal to h nu, and that will be equal to hc upon lambda, because nu is nu into lambda is equal to c. Also if these photons are really the particles, then according to Einstein the each particle having energy, that is your E is equal to mc square, where c is nothing, that is the velocity of your light. So we can compare equation number 1 and 2. So we can write it as that your mc square is equal to hc upon lambda, or lambda is equal to hc upon h upon mc, or this m into c is nothing, that is the momentum of the particle. So we can write it as that your lambda is equal to h upon p. So this is nothing, that is your we can say that it is your de Broglie hypothesis. So we can write it as that is your lambda is equal to h upon mb. So this is nothing, that is the de Broglie hypothesis for your classical particle. From this equation we can see from the left we have the lambda, and lambda is nothing, that is the wavelength of the wave, so which is associated with a wave. So we can conclude that from left hand side this equation shows the wave character of your matter, and from the right side we have the h upon mv. So m is nothing, that is the mass of the particle, and mass of the particle is nothing, it is associated with the particle. So from right side we can conclude that it shows the particle character of your matter. So from this equation lambda is equal to h upon mv, it will shows both character, that is your wave character as well as your the particle character of the matter. So here we have the some special cases of this de Broglie wavelengths. So the first one is nothing, that is the we have the moving particle, and which this moving particle having velocity v, and the mass is your m, and therefore it having some kinetic energy. So we can write it as E is equal to 1 by 2 mb square, or we can write it as that is your m square v square upon 2m, or we can write it as E is equal to p square upon 2m, or p is equal to root 2 upon root 2 me. So when we put this equation in your de Broglie wavelengths, so we can we have lambda is equal to h upon root 2 me. So this is the formula through which we can calculate the de Broglie wavelength of the moving particle and having some kinetic energy. The second case is your, if we have the particle, that is your gaseous molecules, so they are also in motion. So according kinetic theory of gases, the kinetic energy of the particle is equal to 3 by 2 kT, where k is nothing, that is your Boltzmann constant. So when we put this value of your p, so that your lambda is equal to h upon root 3 m kT. Here this de Broglie wavelength is inversely proportional to the temperature of the gas. So the third one case is suppose now we have the electrons or the charged particle which is moving in a particular potential v. So the work done by the electric field is nothing, so that will be equal to the gain in the kinetic energy. So we can write it as that your EV is equal to 1 by 2 mb square, or we can write it as mb is equal to root 2 mv. Here this mv is nothing, that the momentum of the particle. So when we put this in your de Broglie wavelength, we can get that your lambda is equal to h upon root 2 3 mev. So these are the special cases for this de Broglie wavelengths. So now we will discuss here some of the basic properties of your de Broglie waves or the matter waves. So the first one is your and these properties are just come from the formula, that is your lambda is equal to h upon mv. So here the suppose we have this m is your very small, then lambda is your from this formula, then lambda will be equal to greater. So we can conclude here, if the moving particle having less mass, then what will happen, it will be it will having the greater wavelengths. And similarly, if the particle is moving slower, means it having the slower motion, then the wavelength also the greater one. That means the de Broglie wavelength having greater one. Now the third one property is your, if v is equal to 0 from the above formula, if v is equal to 0, then what will happen, lambda will be equal to infinity. Why? Because 1 upon 0 is equal to infinite, which is not possible. So from here we can conclude that when the particle is in rest, V is equal to 0 means the particle is at rest, then there is no de Broglie wavelength. What it means, the particle does not emit any wave. The last one property is nothing, that the matter waves are not electromagnetic in nature. Why? Because we can see in the formula lambda is equal to h upon mv. So in this formula there is no term which represents the charge of the particle, such as your electric field as well as your magnetic field or the charge of the particle. So we can say that the de Broglie waves or the matter waves are not electromagnetic in nature. So thank you very much.